So I wanted to take a few minutes to just kind of talk about my transition to a new job, starting my career out of college. Graduated this past December, and I'm about a month and a half into start of a new career at a pretty large company around the area as a financial analyst. And so I have been working side by side with my team to basically get all of the forecasting done. We do a lot of monthly reporting for basically all of our business units. So, understanding basically how the business of healthcare works is essential to understanding kind of why you do what you do and what the numbers behind the Excel file actually mean. But for anybody who is just graduating college out there, like take it easy on yourself is what I would recommend. Like you basically have to come to grip with the fact that you're going to be lambasted with tons of new information and you're going to realize that you're playing a game where everybody has 4 years of experience playing this video game and you have just picked up the controller. And so don't expect to be super perfect off the bat. I've been very surprised and very impressed with how people have been willing to sort of lend their time and help you out when they know that you're kind of, still younger and still learning the ins and outs of your career. And that is something that I think people really learn when they get older too, is that they try to change the velocity of their career, right? So they want to make sure that they're advancing at a fast enough pace, because I think a lot of people are scared to get their first job because they have zero experience out of college, but you are a very smart individual, and it's really the question of, can you learn something new, which is what would allow you to survive in a new job, because it's all about being able to absorb and process new information. And that is so true in a finance and accounting job, because basically, like, finance in college is one of those topics where the theory is very voluminous, let's just say. So there's a lot of theory behind kind of the mathematical components of finance, such as internal rate of return, the Black-Scholes model. Like, how do we actually pin a value to an option or a stock? Like, most of my college career in finance was basically being able to evaluate a piece of private equity. And then you step into the actual fp&a world, which means financial planning and analysis, which is really more about kind of charting the course of a business, providing the numbers that are useful for decision making, and sort of maintaining that level of reporting that is necessary for a manager or somebody with real business expertise to then, change the aspects of their business that are necessary. It's but working for like a huge company is just so alien compared to what you might think, because you're dealing with absolutely ludicrous amounts of money, right? Like $4,000 is absolutely a rounding error. Okay. You increase your scope up to the department level. Wow. 20 grand is absolutely pennies to some of these organizations. Like 20, like people would not sneeze over 20 to 40 grand going missing, right? That's just a rounding error. So then you step your scope up to the company level, right? We're talking the daughter companies of the umbrella corporation. And to them, like, multiple millions of dollars, we're, 5 to 6 million bucks can be a rounding error. And it just is a little discouraging to realize at first that you are the tiny, tiny little ant in this grand scheme of things. Like the people that work in this building, there's probably 15 times the amount of people in this building alone than was in my hometown growing up. Like, it is such a different environment because you are all sort of together in this environment together, which is fine. Like, there's no space issues, but it's coming it's really becoming accustomed to the fact that you are now working in a city, essentially just a vast array of people that are most likely smarter than you. That's kind of been one of the harrowing learning experiences of being a young guy kind of entering the workforce too, is like realizing that these people, like the average amount of time spent in a job in healthcare is probably about 7 to 8 years is what I would probably estimate that at. And so, like, people do have experience, and you should expect that they know more than you, and you should always be open to new ideas. And it's coming to grips with that particular reality, which can be really jarring for people because it feels like once you graduate college, you've got this grandiose knowledge base. You think you have figured it out because you have earned a degree. Well, guess what, mister? There are 1,000 different degrees out there. You have but one of 1,000 valuable sets of knowledge, which may or may not even be applied to the real workplace. That is one thing I would recommend to anybody still in college, too, is that always focus on your soft skills more than anything. I will tell you right now, the ability to be charismatic will carry you so far in a workplace over your actual skill set. Now, I will say that in finance and accounting, you definitely have to know what the hell you're doing because it's very technical, very, very numbers focused. And to not understand what's going on is going to absolutely sink you. Anyway, healthcare has been a very interesting journey and path, and I am still in sort of that sponge phase where you're just soaking up everything that you absolutely can. And only until my sort of 1 year anniversary rolls around will I really take that moment to self-reflect and kind of see whether this is still something for me, whether I understand it, whether it is something that still interests me. Because healthcare is really fascinating from a complexity standpoint. Like, it is no joke that healthcare is probably among the top three most complex industries because it is so focused on the individual, and the amount of services and financial products that you can provide are just astronomical. But it could be a fun venture to move into a space where you actually understand like all of what you do, right? You gain expertise in your area within a couple of years because there's no way you can do that in healthcare. There just absolutely isn't. Like, everybody focuses on their little universe, and it's the fact that you can connect all of these little universes across state by using instant internet calls and messaging, and it's that ability that enables these gigantic corporations to really work as a global unit. It is pretty impressive in the end. But anyway, that is my rant for today. Wanted to go over what's been on the brain, and that was a nice little 8-minute rant for y'all. So, hope you learned something interesting. I got more tidbits if you're interested, but still learning and keeping savvy. So, anyway, that is the video. If you guys like the video, feel free to leave a rating on it. And if you enjoy my content, then hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one.